Hey everybody. Hi, this is Lumination, Love and Relationship 2017, and this one is for Pisces, okay? So we're going to get rolling here. Just give me a moment. Okay, here we go. This is what we're doing right now. This is where we are right now. Dear Pisces, preferably before we get stuck into this, could you please watch like the playlist overall review video for the whole of Tarot Lumination, Love and Relationship 2017, because it'll really help you to understand the reading, hopefully a little bit better. At least give you an idea of the perspective from this end on the other side of the screen here at Tarot Lumination, instead of just me spooning it out like I'm some kind of like love doctor, which I'm not. Because like, what do I know? Well, I'm just giving you a perspective. So anyway, please read for your sun and moon and rising. Okay, all right, dear Pisces, here we go. Okay, we're just gonna kind of dive right in. There's no I don't do reversals. I don't have any kind of like magic oracle cards. I don't do jumpers and flyers. We're going to keep it bare bones, real stripped down, as basic as we can get, and at least give you some kind of illumination for June. And hopefully this will help you. All right, so here we go. Here we go. I'm going to just cut it wild, okay? And that's it. We're done. Moving on. Here is you. Here is the other, okay? Going deeper with you, whatever this entails. We don't know. Hopes, fears, ambitions, blockages, opportunities. And it's the same over here, okay? And here is the status of the relationship itself. I call this like a little mini crucible reading. And please watch the opening video to understand that better. And here's where things seem to be heading, okay? So here is the crucible of the relationship itself. Here's the status of the relationship, and here's where things are going. Here's you, here's the other, going deeper, going deeper. All right, got it? So let's do this, people, okay? What's going on? Oh, hold on, let's have a look. Some people like to know this. We're going to do it. What's going on in the background? Like, what's the weather? I kind of like to do these for the generals and the privates, and sometimes even on the Sunday Night Lives. We've got the Six of Swords. So if, dear Pisces, you're feeling like circumstances around you are favorable for moving on and advancing, perhaps leaving behind things that are no longer working for you, gratefully and gently releasing whatever turbulence might have existed in the past and accepting the unfolding of the new, then so be it. That's really, really beautiful. That's actually very fortuitous energy in a love and relationship energy reading, okay? So that's you, Pisces, and that's the other, the magical, mystical other, okay? So what's going on with you? Doing, kaboom! Wow. I don't know if this is wishful thinking, Pisces. Don't worry if you're male or female. I'm just talking about energy. This is a guy. This is the King of Pentacles, okay? Obviously, he's very rich and abundant in his world. And this is how it looks, okay? He wears the crown. He wears the robes. And he carries material matter to the point of full abundance. So it's like it's like the energy of matter being conducted and carried to the highest levels of one's ability. Now, I don't know if this is wishful thinking for you, dear Pisces, or perhaps you're feeling this inside of you, even if it's not manifesting outwardly. Like it's almost as though like, wow, I'm actually starting to sense that I do have great value, that I am very valuable and that I am coming into my own in very, very tangible ways where I do have mastery over my domain to some extent, including the world of relationship. And that can feel very, very like almost like luxurious, okay? And the King of Pentacles, he just didn't land here this way. It takes a tremendous amount of history and let's just say brutal warfare and endless amounts of pain and suffering to have reached the point where you can wear the crown and wear the robes with authority, okay, and be that authority, especially in the area of love and relationship. So if this is something that you're wishing for, it's understandable. We would love to have all the resources that we need in the relationship, like literally everything, the money, the ring, house, the job, the career, being highly respected, highly valued and understood, and the reciprocal energy being emanated from your own being towards your significant other, okay? So this is the energy of being someone who is highly worthy, highly deserving, okay? And nothing less than the equivalent will do. The question is, what's going on? So what about the other? What's going on with the so-called other? Now, we don't know if this is like a mystery other person, like somebody you're wishing for or hoping for, but in terms of like the creator, it's almost like if you're actively putting out wishes and requests like, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want that, I need that, blah, blah, blah. Please understand that the universe hears you very clearly. And the universe is extremely precise. Like if you're putting out a very garbled message, I want that, but I don't want that, and that. Then the universe goes, okay, so we'll do what we can, but that's basically sounds like a bunch of goop in a blender that's got worn out blades. So we'll do what we can. So it's upon you, the burden is upon you, dear Pisces, to radiate the energy of that which you believe you deserve. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh. Ouch. Okay, so I'm not saying ouch in a negative way. I'm just saying that the Queen of Swords, for a lot of readers, this can indicate like the divorce energy. But what I'm feeling is like the other person, this other so-called significant other, let's just say it's a reflection of yourself at the very highest vibrational frequencies of a love relationship. It's almost like you're living with a mirror, okay? It's that scary, it's that frightening. And you're, you know those crazy mirrors like women use for like doing makeup really close up and you can see every zit, every pore, every root of your eyelashes, every blackhead, all of that crap. And of course, all the beauty once you've done your job, so to speak, of taking care of yourself, which is what we should all do, male or female. And you discover that, oh my gosh, I am the creator of my own destiny. And that if I'm experiencing like literally losses on the scale of divorce, then that might be fully the most appropriate thing to happen right now. Obviously, nobody wants to hear that word, but sometimes it is the most loving and appropriate way to conduct yourself. Because it seems to me over here, dear Pisces, that you are highly worthy and you deserve the reciprocal in return. And anything less than that is not acceptable. And so let's just say that your other or your wishful other, whatever you want to call them, like potential soulmate, your twin flame. I said it, but this is not one of those readings. This is just you and other, however that works out. Let's just say that through the energy of significant relationship, you're discovering that you need to divorce yourself from everything and anything that is not authentically, truly good for you, dear Pisces, then so be it. And if somebody has to go, then somebody has to go. If somebody is cutting it off with you, so be it. If you're cutting it off with someone else, then so be it. The Queen of Swords is fiercely independent, almost mercilessly independent in her energy, okay? She has no qualms about being single or solitary if necessary. So if you're dealing with another who is that way and they are conducting themselves that way, it might be a reflection on you too, where they're saying, excuse me, I am not willing to tolerate anything that is below me. So you got to go. You got to go. And it's the same thing in reverse. Like, I'm not willing to tolerate anything that is below me. And I just happen to have noticed that you, over here, might be worthy. And so let's keep this going. Let's consider this. But please bear in mind, I have no fears about using my sword. Okay? Just letting you know. It sounds brutal, cold, and heartless, but damn, it's a lot better to live with the truth than a bunch of optical illusions and delusions. There's probably nothing more sickening than living in what you believe is a loving relationship only to discover that it was an optical illusion and a delusion. And it all goes like slowly or quickly. So anyway, let's go deeper. Let's have a look. What's inside? Okay. Dear Pisces, I don't know if you're wrestling with your own issues of self-worth. Maybe you're realizing that you have internal issues of your own that could be like blocking you or stopping you from attracting your equivalent awesome other. And it could be that I'm just going to give different spins on this, okay, Pisces? So let me kind of like rip for a little while. It could be that, okay, we're just going to go through the obvious ones. It could be that in the context of a relationship, you're scared or worried that it could be like a compulsive, addictive type of relationship, obsessive compulsive, whatever they call that thing. It's understandable. And if so, and you're recognizing that it's unhealthy and you want to cut those bonds, or you're scared of being cut, that's understandable. Please, can you see the energy here where the potential for being cut? In other words, it's like that energy, like, in relationships where it's like the dumper and the dumpee. And you say, you know what, you've got to go. Screw you, I'm out of here. I'm dumping you. And the other one says back at you like, excuse me, nobody dumps me. I'm the one who's dumping you. And then it goes back and forth. No, 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 no. I'm the dumper, you are the dumpee. And then they say, no, excuse me, I'm the dumper, you are the dumpee. And either way, it's because of like the potential for a kind of grim realization that you might have been conducting yourselves under the energy of bondage as opposed to love. Because if a relationship is based on like these like very compulsive, let's say karmic or magnetic or addictive behaviors where you're literally scared of being without each other, that can be very unhealthy. In a really healthy relationship, both parties are already very loving of themselves, okay? Pisces loves yourself to this awesome, like, degree, okay? And relating to someone else who relates to themselves to this awesome degree. The challenge comes when you're dealing with huge amounts of reciprocal love of self at the higher frequencies. That can become a challenge because you might be exposing yourself through the other as how, like, deep down, even with your best intentions, you might have been living or you're scared that you might be living in a situation of bondage as opposed to love. And that can be a scary awakening. In other words, you could be deliciously addicted to each other. You could be like scarily addicted to each other, having thought that this was true love. And that all of a sudden becomes a problem. Now, there's another way to look at this little card here, dear Pisces, where it might be appropriate to allow yourself to indulge in the joys and pleasures of a relationship that get down to the most intimate aspects, where you're literally sharing your body with another. And even though it might be taboo or scary or unrespectable or high risk and something, and that magnetism and that draw is still there, where two people are drawn together, even though there might be the energy of potential separation, like we really shouldn't be together. However, we're still deeply drawn to each other for like through the shadow parts of our energy. Like you might be sexually addicted to each other. You might love getting stoned and blasted and drunk together. And deep down knowing that that's actually not maybe what you really want in a love relationship. We don't know. But what I'm feeling here for you, dear Pisces, is that let's just put the positive spin on it. Let's just say, like, there's a part of you which says, okay, let's just put these together. Forget everything else here for a moment. It's just like, I would love to be this much in charge of all my energy and all of my resources in my relationship, to the point where I can indulge in all the fruity, delicious, so-called forbidden, taboo aspects of the relationship, the lustful sides of things that everybody craves and wants, or at least a lot of people do, and just shamelessly admitting it. In other words, shamelessly admitting, you know what, I would really like to get down and dirty, and that's just me being honest. And there's nothing wrong with that, but guess what? That's how the human race is propagated. Yay! And it can be fun. It can actually be quite fun. So if you're wrestling with these kind of energies where you're trying to figure out, am I like possessed by my own demons? Am I just the victim of lust? And is all my apparent wealth and abundance and command of my relationship status merely an optical illusion? And am I actually suffering from a beautiful misperception where in fact I'm actually in a highly codependent, obsessive compulsive kind of relationship? I don't know. That's why we come and get these readings. Let's just keep going, okay? All right, what about the other? Okay, it might be that the other sees things from a very different perspective, and that's a good thing, okay? In other words, you might be wrestling with your own inner demons or trying to understand how the energy of a really luscious, rich relationship works out without having to deal with all the shadow side, the compulsive side, like, I need you, I need you, I need you so much, I can't live without you, that kind of thing, or the same from them in reverse, okay? And on the other hand, you might be dealing with someone who might have a cooler approach to things, because, dear Pisces, you can be very sensitive and you can be extremely vulnerable to these kind of shadow energies, and that's just one of the Pisces like characteristics. So you might be dealing with someone who has a completely different perspective, where you might be in a relationship situation in the crucible wherein the other party is taking a really clear, hard look at what is actually going on, as opposed to what I feel is going on, or what I wish is going on, or could have, like what had happened or what could happen. It's like, what is happening right now, okay? And the other person may or may not be communicating to this communicating this stuff openly with you, okay? It might be an internal assessment, an internal evaluation of which you have no comprehension. So please allow for that and understand that. In other words, you might be wrestling with these issues for better or worse. They might be wrestling with a much more neutral, calm, and sober approach to what is actually going on here. How deeply am I invested in this relationship? What seeds did I originally plant in this relationship? What is the true value of this relationship? What is the long-term value of this relationship? Where did it all come from? Where's it going? I really, really want to know, because I'm not willing to put up with a bunch of bullshit. I don't want to be subject to someone else's obsessive compulsive thises or that, or addictions or fantasies or illusions about how things could be or would have been or should have been. I want to know what's going on right now. I want the facts. Okay? So these are two very, very different energies going on here inside the relationship, inside the crucible of the relationship. So what's the status of the relationship? Okay, holding on, holding steady, people, holding steady in this dynamic of trying to figure out what is actually going on. Now, please understand, Pisces, this is your reading. It's not the other person's reading. It's your reading. It doesn't matter whether this person exists or not, male, female, already deeply in your life for years, or just like brand new, however it is. The status of the relationship is the energy that I'm feeling coming from here, because it's your reading. It's all about you're holding on. You're holding on tightly. And that could make sense because it's obvious that you're dealing with the energy of the value of the relationship and how it is being perceived and expressed and conducted in your physical day-to-day life. Hopefully at this kind of level where you are literally wearing the crown, wearing the robe, the highest levels of like being who you are and what you deserve in a relationship. The true value of you, Pisces. And in the process of this evaluation, it feels like you're holding on, and it's understandable. And not only holding on, it might be that the relationship is all about building a foundation, a rock solid foundation where the crucible can withstand the tests of time, so that you do have the possibility of having a substantial, long-term, healthy, loving, mutually reciprocal relationship. Now, the other side of it is that you could be holding on to something and clinging on to it where the value is deeply in question. Okay? I just have to put that out there as your reader, because all sorts of people are going to see this. It's not a private reading. Okay? So, from the other person's perspective, there's a strong feel here that I'm getting that you are being evaluated and the whole relationship is being evaluated from their perspective for their own health and well-being. And that evaluation is happening in their own self, okay? Completely separate from yourself, even though you're both in a relationship dynamic here. And that's actually very, very healthy. It might be a very deeply serious reality check that needs to happen. And there could be potentially a lot at stake here. Okay, so where does this seem to be going with this kind of like holding steady eventually energy? Okay, it's looking for you, Pisces, is that there's let's just say we could break this down into an exact 50-50, like you could split it exactly in the middle, where from my perspective as your reader, this little card of the Knight of Pentacles indicates that the potential leads in your favor, where the value of the relationship will be exposed and brought into the open and understood for real by the other party, even though it might be deeply in question right now. And that might be just in relationship with yourself. In other words, in reflection and relationships through the other party, You are discovering your own strengths and values and weaknesses inside the relationship and discovering that, holy shit, I am right on the line here. The whole thing, everything is on the line because I'm living in the current. Pisces, I'm living in my little crucible here in the energy field of being deeply evaluated and understood at the absolute core. And it looks like the way it's heading is that even though there's the potential for getting the axe, getting cut, or where you might want to cut them or they might want to cut you out, it looks like as June progresses, there might be the possibilities for being appreciated and valued are coming at you in a way that might be very slow and gentle and methodical, but it's on the understanding that you are literally going to have to play your part, dear Pisces, if you want to live in a relationship, a healthy relationship at this kind of standard, where you are wearing the crown and the robe, then you got to walk the talk. Okay, it can't be just wishful thinking or like, oh, I'm struggling. Oh, and I thought it was this or I thought it was that. No, the other party is thinking, I totally get it. I'm on par with you. You and me, we are on par with each other. However, I love me a lot, just like you love you a lot. And I'm not willing to put up with anything less than pretty much effing awesome, okay? So that's why I'm going through this evaluation with us, but specifically you. And I agree that we are holding on. We're holding on to the good stuff, okay? But we have to deal with the crap that's not working, okay? But overall, it looks like you're getting the benefits of the doubt here, Pisces. So even though there might be a lot of energies in question here and a lot of evaluation going on, it looks like you are getting the benefit of the doubt and that you will, there's a very good chance you could receive or continue to receive the ongoing benefits and resources and pleasures of a healthy relationship, even though it might be going through deep evaluation, perhaps restructuring, rebuilding, okay? So, dear Pisces, I hope that makes sense for you in some way or another. I hope I didn't screw it up, okay? Just so that you know, I'm going to give you a little flash here of this thing. We did that, right? Okay, but that's the reading and the layout. But when you watch the opening video, I read this reading from this perspective, okay? So please watch the opening video. Read for your sun and moon and rising. And have a super June video. Super June, Pisces. All right. It's your reading. Okay. It's not their reading. This is your reading for you. All right. All the best, Pisces. Bye-bye.